Hey guys, how we doing? Good evening. Late one for me today. Long day of work. So I got to get my run in this evening. Did my strength training this morning, and I try to keep a 6 to 8 hour gap, which is usually like an AM PM routine between those two sessions, depending on what the focus is. If the main thing is strength training, I'll do that first. If the main thing at that point is running or cardiovascular, I'll do that first. But I try to focus on keeping the main thing and sticking with the course of action from there. So here I am. It's almost 9 o'clock. Get in my run. Luckily, it's a pretty easy run today, only 3 miles. So get to it. After that, get home, get some protein, some carbs in me, clean off, and get ready for tomorrow. So something I wanted to talk about this evening before I approach this run is a concept I was talking about with my friend the other day. How to build self-confidence. Where does self-confidence come from? How to build it? And are some people more naturally inclined to be self-confident than others? So when I think about that, where does self-confidence come from? I think about a couple of key characteristics of individuals that hold extreme self-confidence. One, people who hold extreme self-confidence take extreme ownership, right? Maybe if you're familiar with Jocko Willink and his book, Extreme Ownership, that's somebody who is extremely self-confident. It's very clear that it's not cockiness. And he says it best in his book. How do you build more confidence in yourself and your word? By taking extreme ownership. Always taking ownership of your circumstances, your situations, your setbacks, and your wins. Even if you have a valid excuse, you don't take it and you take extreme ownership. You worry about if somebody else wants to throw their neck out and cover for you, that's them. You just focus on taking extreme ownership of every single circumstance that you're in, and that will allow you to build some self-confidence to then start thinking outside of the box of how to change your circumstances and not feel dependent on others to do that. 2, people who have extreme self-confidence, they don't lie. They are extremely honest with themselves of where they are at, where they want to be, and are they making the appropriate moves in their game plan to get there. They don't lie to others. If they live a certain lifestyle on social media, that's the lifestyle that they live behind closed doors, right? They don't lie to others to prevent negative repercussions. They take ownership of their actions, right? If you're somebody who maybe you're in your adolescence or late teens, you're finishing high school, right? And you sneak out of the house, you go to a party, and your parents find out. You don't make excuses. You don't say you weren't there to avoid repercussions. Even though you might avoid a repercussion from them, you're only detrimenting yourself and your self-confidence. So don't do that. Just drop the line and have the confidence to admit to your mistake or admit to your action. If you don't believe it was a mistake, then take the repercussions as is. That's called trade-offs. Every single micro decision you make every single day has a trade-off, right? If you own it, you'll get through life a lot easier and you'll be much more confident in your decision making, which will probably lead to better, more logical, more strategic decisions in your life in the long run. But if you develop a habit of lying, you're only hurting yourself, you'll hurt others around you, but most importantly, self-confident people can sense that. Self-confident people can sense a liar, and they can sense low self-esteem and low self-confidence. So if you are somebody who is extremely self-confident, and you meet somebody and you're talking to them, they're looking down and they're looking right, and they're telling you this fabricated story of why it is things aren't working out for them, you can already tell the gaps in their story, which presumably are filled with the actual reasons why they are in the particular predicament or circumstances that they are in, right? Here's a perfect example. Coach Tom, but I followed the meal plan to a T. Really? How many calories are in meal 1? You could just say, I didn't follow the meal plan, Coach Tom. Can you give me another shot? Sure. I'm very happy that you took extreme ownership and drop the line. Thank you for showing me some respect. More importantly, thank you for showing yourself some self-respect. You'll probably gain some confidence from this. And lastly, the third quality I see consistently in extremely self-confident individuals is they always strive to do the right thing. That does not mean they get things right every single time, but they always strive to do the right thing. And when you always strive to do the right thing, A, takes lying right out the window. It's extremely hard to do the right thing and lie about it. And B, it shows extreme ownership that you are trying to live and be at a certain standard that presumably will benefit those around you and those that come into contact with you, right? If you're a liar, you're not really interested in the well-being of others. If you lie to others, how could you be interested in the well-being of others? And if you don't take ownership, how could you be expected to do the right thing when it's expected of you? You don't even take ownership of when you do things the wrong way. So that'll be short because I got to get after it. I'm pretty beat. But if you're somebody who you lack self-confidence, focus on those 3 characteristics and start chopping away at them every day. It's not going to change overnight, right? And you can build those skills and fall back on those skills. I don't want to sit here and pretend like I've nailed all 3 of those skills forever. No, it's a battle every single day. You make a decision for those 3 characteristics every single day. But extremely self-confident individuals, they pick the correct lane with each of those characteristics each day. And if they miss one, they take ownership of it. And they'll try to do the right thing, which is flip the script, right? Focus on those 3 things, those 3 qualities, characteristics, whatever you want to call them. And I promise you, if you do that for 30 days straight, you're going to start building more self-confidence. If you do that for 6 months straight, people aren't going to recognize you anymore as this timid, low self-esteem, low confidence individual, right? Because you will have trained your brain enough times to be able to do the right thing when it's asked upon you, to be able to hold yourself accountable, take extreme ownership, even when you have a fallout or a legitimate reason as to why you could make an excuse. Don't go that route. Be stronger than that. Don't go that route. And 3, stop lying to yourself as to why things aren't working out. Stop lying to others as to why things aren't working out. Be honest with yourself. You'll feel like some weight has lifted off your shoulders, and you'll be able to attack a little bit harder than the last time.